What's up, guys? We are back. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to do something totally different tonight that we have not done in the past. We're going to cut some stencils specifically for, let's see, I'm never going to get this like mirrored image thing right. Over here. It's just so weird because I'm like pointing away from where the actual stencil is. Like the stencil is over there in my life, but for the camera's purposes, over there, we're doing Dokken, so that's going to be super fun. Shout out to Eric, those back pages. I saw you jump in super early. I know that you're excited for this one, so I'm very excited as well. Let me grab my beverage of the night. It's not a Modelo. It's not a beer at all, actually. It's coffee. So I'm going to just grab the coffee. It's just right there. 1 second. It's actually pretty low. I should, I'm going to make another cup real quick. All right, so I have like a Keurig coffee machine, and I'm making my last K-cup, which will be my second cup of the day, this being the first one. This cup is so cool. I love, I don't know, little wins in the day, little reminders, about how awesome and lucky we are for this life. So this one says, one small positive thought in the morning can change the whole day. I like this cup. I got it on Amazon. This is a little cold. I brewed this like an hour ago, getting ready for the stream. So we're in a new part of the studio. It's going to be loud for me for a second. We're in a new part of the studio. We are over in the cutting section. I'm just tweaking the volume just a little bit. I also want to move this out of the way so I can read comments. All right. Yeah, so here is the desk that you guys see right here. This is typically where I cut my stencils. It's a separate table from where I paint because this is usually like I try to keep it clean. Also exciting today, just to give you guys a little housekeeping update. Over the last like week and a half, working on all this Project 2020 stuff, my studio had just become a total mess. And I used to be really good about every single Sunday night I would spend and I would clean my studio like crazy. I would like mop the floor, sweep and mop and vacuum and throw away anything and organize all my paint colors. That was like a really good ritual for me because then come Monday, I just get to start fresh and my paint color, like all my paints are exactly where I know where they are. All my gear, all my brushes are clean. And over the last, I didn't do that last weekend on Sunday, and so like I just ended up with just like piling stuff on top of stuff. So I'm really happy that I got to clean my studio today, and then immediately after cleaning it, of course, I had to make a little bit of a mess. So if you see like behind me, maybe this is better. So that middle table, which is where I do a lot of the painting, acrylic painting, is all full of stacks of receipts. And I finally I busted out all my 2019 receipts. I need to do my taxes sooner than later. And I'm trying to take some steps to, I guess, systemize like the processes for my art business. And with this 2020 project has gotten me really inspired to like get all my ducks in a row because there's so much going on. And I know that like it's just going to continue for the next, I think it's like 35 weeks or something that this project goes, which is insane. And so like knowing that I'm going to have like kind of a consistent work schedule, I just wanted to get a little bit of my taxes started. So I've stacked all my receipts in piles. I've got them organized by like shipping receipts, art supply receipts, food receipts, travel receipts. So I started that, and tomorrow I'll put in a little bit more work on that. That's a lot of the, the unsexy part of the art business is it still is a business, and you have to do those type of things. Yeah, pumped to see this go down. Boomer, welcome. Noah, what's up? I assume that you're there as well. Pedro. Yeah, Pedro is a Team Hot Plate OG. Thank you, guys. Is the Topps t-shirt available? I don't know. So Topps sent me, when I was like, welcome to the project, they sent me a little care package, and it was a Topps shirt. It was the Topps hat that I wore a couple nights ago. It was the box of Topps Heritage 2020, which I opened, and then I painted on. Those cards are here. I have a lot of these sitting around the studio. And so just a reminder, I know a lot of you guys are here from last night, so you probably already know this and you already did the form, but anybody that tunes into my live streams can have one of these cards for free. I'm just going to put it in a little plastic sleeve, pop it into a regular envelope, and just mail it to you. And so they're all fun. They were painted live with you guys. You guys got to choose some of the colors that we painted on them. And so they're kind of fun, and I think it's just it's a cool thing. And I had last night's stream was insane. We had 200 concurrents at one point early in the stream. I think we ended up probably settling around 100 for most of the stream, but like the fact that, I mean, I just started live streaming like 4 days ago, and now we have like hundreds of people joining is insane, because I didn't even, honestly, like I haven't really marketed that this very much. I put it on blowout forums, but I just said, this is going to be my only announcement. I'm going to be here on YouTube every night at 10:23. Tune in if you want to. I put it once on a private Facebook group, same thing. Guys, I'm just going to say this once, 10:23, I'm going to be here on YouTube. And I know that like some of you guys have been really cool about telling your friends. For example, Kevin, I don't know if Kevin's on right now. Emma, what's up? Emma, hello. So Emma F in the comments right now. Her and her husband Chaka, they live in Miami and South Beach. And when I went to Art Basel last year, that was in December, I met them through Twitter, and then they were super nice. And like, not only did like, they showed me the ropes around Miami, because I hadn't really spent a lot of time there. They also let me crash on their couch a couple nights. And Emma is also an amazing artist. I want to find, oh shoot. What is it? Is it Dry Ideas? Is that right? I can't use my phone is like up here. It's like recording, so I can't look it up and double check. But I think it's Dry Ideas on Instagram. So if you guys are on Instagram, follow Emma. Her art is super sick. And her husband Chaka is also amazing. Okay, here, let's see here. Anyways, art cards. So if you guys have not filled out the form already and you want a free art card like this, you don't have to pay for anything. I'm going to cover the shipping. I already made the cards. All you got to do is click the link that's down below. It's like an art card claim form. Only other housekeeping thing that I'm going to mention, and I'm going to warn you, I'm going to mention this a few times throughout the stream, but I'm selling limited edition artist autograph cards of the cards that I make for Topps. And those are numbered in specially colored inks and, signed and numbered in specially colored inks. And they come in editions anywhere from like 1 of 1, which is a gold autograph, up to an edition of 99, which is a red autograph. And so for each of my cards, I'm doing this. It's super helpful for me as an artist, because it gives me not only like an alternate stream of income outside of the royalties from Topps, it also just helps me with cash flow, because the Topps royalty, I don't get paid on any of my Topps cards for like between 1 and 2 months after a card sells. So like my Nolan Ryan card that was first, which was a few weeks ago now, I still haven't gotten paid, and I'm not going to get paid for that for basically until the end of May. So by me doing these artist autograph cards and then you guys buying them is really cool, because then it helps me continue to like pay my bills and stuff. So there's another also link down below in the description of this video, and it is the pre-sale. It's not a public page right now at all. It's Jackie Robinson, which was my last release. The first time I mentioned it was last night on my YouTube, so there are some cards that are gone, but for the most part they're all there because nobody has access to the page. So the page link is down below, and then there's a password to the page. You can't just go to the page like if you don't know the password. So the password is down below and the link is down below, and if you guys want to order one of those, you would get a super low number The editions are of 1, of 5, of 42, and of 99. And I would say out of all those, so that's like 100 and I think it's 143 cards total that I'm signing. I've probably sold like 10 of them or something. So that means that if you get like, one of the 99 cards, you're probably going to end up with a pretty low number. You could get like number 7 out of 99 or whatever. I don't know exactly what that is, so don't hold me to that, but I know that a lot of them are still available. So if you want to support me in my art, that is one way to do it. And the Jackie card is special because it was card number 42, which is sick. And it was the highest print run Jackie card of Topps 2020 so far, which is also sick. Anyways. Yes. Okay. Emma commented, yes, at Dry Ideas. So you guys feel free to take a quick pause, grab your phone, open Instagram, follow at Dry Ideas, check out her art, and then also comment in this, in the YouTube chat and tell me that you followed her, and then I will owe you something cool. Probably just like good karma, but who knows? I appreciate that, and I love to like support friends and stuff. And Emma is awesome, and her art is awesome. Okay, so tonight, like I mentioned, we're doing something a little bit different than usual. We're going to cut a stencil, and I will tell you, it's a time-consuming process. It's how I make. Let's see here. I guess I could just grab one from down here. So this is just like a random one that I'm going to show you guys, but this is one of the stencils that I cut. This was for Marcus Epps. He is a safety on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is one of the stencil layers. So cutting this out is very tedious, and that's where I actually, like, most of the time that goes into making my art is spent cutting these stencils. And I have this like flat file down here where I keep them all. Okay, let's see, let's get this back here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with this, which is just a sheet of paper, a big sheet of paper. I have a big printer, and it's the Dwight Gooden photograph. And as you'll see, it's just like a black and white photo. And I don't do anything in Photoshop with any of my art first. I just print out a photograph, and then what I'll do is I'll take an X-Acto knife here, and I'm going to be cutting out 2 different layers. One of them is going to be the white layer for the highlights. One is going to be the dark layer, the black layer. That's really the one that makes it pop. And then what we'll do is we'll stack those, we'll spray paint one of them, and then we'll spray paint the other one, and that's what makes the painting. I'm not going to paint tonight, and I'm sorry if anyone tuned in hoping to see me paint. The last couple nights I know I've been painting, but there's a lot that goes into the business, and it's not always the sexy painting, throwing, splashing paint around. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, you guys are gonna get to see that process, and if you do stick around all night tonight, you will see. My plan is to cut both layers, and that's probably gonna take me realistically 2 or 3 hours. During that time, I will do as much Q&A as I can. I'm going to have this computer right in front of me and be kind of checking in on that. Because it's going to be a long stream, I'll probably put on either some music or an audiobook for us. I'm in the middle of a new audiobook that I love. I just found it today. It's called The Ranch, and it is about this guy who, and I'm just giving you a little synopsis because if I pick up in the middle of the book and you guys haven't heard the beginning, at least you'll kind of know what's going on. So it's this guy who is approached by a lawyer. He was estranged from his father. The dude was estranged from his father. He gets approached by a lawyer saying, hey, your father passed away, but he left you his estate, his property. And the guy had no idea that his dad had this, but his dad has this like super sick ranch compound that is like all self-sustaining, it's all solar powered, and they've got, they're producing their own food and stuff. And like, I'm really into like that kind of like, I don't know if, prepper or survival type of stuff. Like that fiction is super fun to me. And like one of my dreams at some point in my life is like, I want to buy like probably in Northern California, a big piece of property and just have like a self-sustaining thing. So if the world were going to shit again, right? If there was another COVID type situation, I could just go be off the grid, be living off the land. Like that's one of my dreams, having an art studio and like a compound. So that book is super fun. I think we might listen to that a little bit tonight. Those back pages, the birth of my favorite card. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be cool. So if you remember, let's see, I'm watching like 5 of these cards on eBay right now, debating between raw or graded. Right on. What, Eugene, which cards are you watching on eBay right now? Because I don't think, I don't know if people gotten any of the Project 2020 cards graded, and if so, like that'd be really interesting to see what that does to the price, because they come, in the sealed 130 point case. You'd have to take off the sticker and break that seal, but then if you got it graded and it was like a PSA 10, then that would be like super tight. Obviously, that's worth a lot. Matthew, what's up? Can't wait to get the Mattingly card. Thank you so much. Best rendition of the card I've seen so far. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think, that's a big honor. I love a lot of the artists that are in the project. I have respect for all the artists for sure, but like some of them, like just on a personal, like mad respect for their art. So it's hard to pick favorites, but I love King Saladin. He's amazing. I've done an art show with him. Actually, this art show, 76ers, we both worked with Philadelphia 76ers last year. We did it was a group show, and that's where I met him for the first time. He's a super nice dude. So if I had to pick like another favorite artist, because I'm also my favorite artist, if I had to pick another one, he's definitely up there. I love Tyson Beck's work. He's an amazing graphic designer. He does a lot of stuff in Photoshop that I can't do with a paintbrush, and I've got a lot of respect for that because I'm not that good at Photoshop. And then Gregory Siff is actually like one of my favorite artists of all time, and I followed him for so long, and like seeing him be part of a project that I'm part of is amazing. And then Ermsey, who I was introduced to through this project, I think is wildly talented, and it's so different. His cards are so different than everyone else's, and that like really speaks to me. So it's fun in this project, being introduced to new artists and being able to like work alongside other people that I really like. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't grade them. I want original seal sticker. Yeah, I gotta be my biggest fan, It's important. It's cool. It's fun. It's really cool too, because I've been doing art full time for 5 years now, and there's a few pieces from each year that I look back now and I'm like, damn, I crushed that. And like, it's really fun to have like one of my favorite pieces of all time be something that I painted like in 2017. And at the same time, like I'll be working on new stuff, and like I'm still young enough in the art world, and like I didn't go to art school. I'm all self-taught, and I'm still learning as I go. So I still feel like I can look at my work from like that I'm doing right now and even compare it to work from 3 months ago. And there's parts of it that I can see to say, okay, I feel like I'm getting better at this particular thing, which is really cool. Okay, so I think we're good. We're gonna start cutting right now, and like I said, it's a tedious process, and you guys will get to see what that looks like behind the scene. I think we'll do it without music or without the book for a little bit, and we'll get going. And that way I can it's easier to talk to you guys. So if you have any questions, throw them down there. Don't forget to follow Dry Ideas on Instagram. And don't forget to check out the links that are down below in the video description if you want to get the Jackie card or if you want to get your free art card. Okay, that's my ad over. Here we go. So I think if we do that, just gotta be careful. I know the other day I was like bumped the USB connection. I think that will work. Okay. Oh, and I made more coffee. Okay, so I'll go grab that real fast. So all my mugs are cool, I think. Oh wow, that's like bubbling up from the heat of the computer. So this one is like a battery charger, and if it's hot, it's green, and like as you drink the coffee down, it's like depleting the battery. It's fun. I like all those goofy little mugs. I buy them all on Amazon. Okay, so we're gonna start with this paper. We're gonna do it like this. Is how we'll have it set up when we're cutting it. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. If not, I can always move the camera if you guys want me to like get closer on what I'm doing or anything. You let me know. But that's how we're gonna do it. So the first thing that I do when I cut my stencils is I use this spray adhesive. You guys have probably seen me use this a lot. And what this will do is I'm gonna put it on the back of this paper, and then it'll kind of stick it down to the cutting mat, and so everything will stay. So it's not like wiggling around while I'm cutting it, which would make cutting a lot harder to do like in a precise way. It's always a balance too with this, is if you don't put enough and then it doesn't really stick down, like I said, we'll have this issue where I'm cutting it and then like I go to cut but it just moves the paper. That's bad. But also if I put too much of this on there and it sticks too much here, then after I cut it, when I'm trying to peel it back up, then the stencil can like rip or like be really fussy. So it's a balance. I think I have a good amount. It's a really light, thin coat of the glue. We're gonna, hopefully it is the right amount. All right. So we are gonna do the white layer first, and the white layer is usually what I do first for a couple reasons. Number one, there's usually less white than black, so it's faster, and it feels really good to get one whole stencil layer done and feel like I'm halfway done even though I'm not halfway done because the black takes longer. Also, I've learned enough in cutting my stencils that if I can tell when I do the white, I'll be able to tell and look at it to see if there were any areas that I feel like I could have done better, and if there are, it's easier to fix after the fact with the black layer, because if I say, okay, I didn't get the highlight, for example, on his nose exactly correct, so when I come back and do the black layer, I've really got to pay extra attention to make sure that I nail the nose really well. And while cutting, I have these. These were sent to me by Topps. They are the reference cards, and they're super nice. So let's see, maybe up here is going to be better. So it is the original Gooding card. It's on 130 point. It's blank on the back, and I'm gonna have one of these so that I can look at it, because it's with a lot of these cards that were printed a long time ago, like the resolution on the card isn't so high. So when I blow it up and make it a huge photograph, we might lose some resolution and it's a little bit grainy. And so I like to be able to look at this to make sure that I'm like not missing anything from the original card, because the whole point of this project is to reimagine this card, and so I want to make sure that what I do looks just as sick as this or sicker. I wish I had my Mets hat here. I have, as you guys will probably see, this is a strategy too. I'll give you guys a tip. So I have a ton of different hats. I'm hella bald, so I wear hats all the time. And on my YouTube videos, I plan on wearing a different hat every single time, because then if you see the thumbnail and you're like, oh, Blake's wearing the 76ers hat, you're going to know that you already saw this video and you're not going to click, and that's okay. But if I do a new video and I'm wearing like a red Topps hat, you'd be like, oh, I haven't seen that hat before. So that's like my strategy. But I also like to like have a hat that is relevant to like what I'm working on, which is just like a fun side thing. And so for that, I wish I had my Mets hat, but my Mets hat is at my apartment in Manhattan, that direction, about 3 miles. And, I wasn't going to go home just for a hat. Anyways, here we go. I can tell I'm going to have to pee soon, so you guys are going to have to like be ready for that, because I'm going to have to run to the bathroom and pee. This is all the coffee. So I am just cutting out right now, like I said, the white layer. And so it's pretty simple, like with this stripe here, obviously that's going to be white. That's going to get completely cut out. But there's other parts, like this highlight along here on the side of his nose, or the whites of his eyes, or the highlight here on the lip, where it's shades of gray, and I'm making the choice with the knife in real time and just deciding this is going to be white or this is going to be black or whatever. I go pretty fast now because I've done this so many times that like I can already kind of see it in my head. When I was first starting cutting stencils, I would spend like 10 to 20 hours on a stencil, and it was because I was like really trying to like figure it out. But now I'm literally just like, I can go pretty fast, and I kind of have an idea of how it's going to translate to the actual stencil itself and look like be on a painting. So this white layer is going to be very fast. Because there's really just not that much white that's going to be on the card at all. And it'll be easier too when I finish this white layer. I will flip it over for you, and then you'll really get to see a little bit better, like I showed you those stencils, the previews before. You guys will get to see that. Let's see here. What is up, guys? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. How do you keep the cutting mat clean after gluing? So the short answer is I don't. I have tons of cutting mats, and a lot of them are all gunked up with shit. And sorry, Noah, for language. All gunked up with junk. And that's from the glue over and over again, adding the glue. I do have there's a solvent thinner, which is almost like a paint thinner, but it's made specifically for glue. And I'll buy that pretty big by the gallon. I put it in like an empty Windex bottle, and I'll spray it on my mats to clean them every so often. I'd say I'll do it maybe monthly, and then I'll just clean all my mats. And it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And then when I have a really precise project where I need to crush it, I'll actually just go buy a new mat for that project, which is also how I end up with so many different mats. Let's see. It's funny, I'll be looking at the card. You know, we're so used to on our phone, pinch to scroll. So I'll be looking at the card and try and zoom in like that. Just doesn't work, obviously, but it doesn't stop me from continuing to try. So with portraits, I've also found that the most important thing, if you really want to nail a portrait, is you got to nail the eyes. If you nail the eyes, then the portrait will look great. So I usually spend a little extra time checking the reference image and making sure that I'm trying to really capture what Doc's eyes look like. So I'm very excited because I saw today on social media that people started receiving the Nolan Ryan cards that I did. And I have not gotten my Nolans. That one I chose Smart Post, which is I'm now kicking myself for. I should have paid a little bit extra to have a faster shipping option, but I didn't. And so I'm patiently waiting for all my Nolans to come, and when they do, I'm going to sign them and send off those artist autographed cards, which the Nolans are pretty much sold out. I think I didn't order as many Nolans as the other cards. I ordered, I think it was 70 of them, and I'm doing the autos on those. And I don't know, I think of the 70, there's probably 6 of them left, which is really cool that there's 6 left. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with these comments. Oh, thank you. I wish all the artists had community engagement like me. Yeah, I mean, this is a huge opportunity for us artists, and I've actually tried to encourage some of the other artists to join Blowout forums, to get in the conversation, and it's cool because some of them are listening, which is great. I think Ermsey, by the way, is going to join Blowout, which is sick. I know Keith Shore just jumped on there. Tyson Beck said he's going to join too, so I really appreciate the kind words. It means a lot. Let's see here. Yours arrived today, but haven't opened the box. Dude, maybe you're gonna have the gold 1 of 1. That would be so sick. I hope that you do. And you don't have to send it to me. I mean, it'd just be so cool for you to get it. You should also, hopefully you get the gold of this one, which would be awesome. Smart Post is working for me since in Orlando. Yeah, that's sick because they're shipping from I think Fort Lauderdale. Can't wait to get my Nolan signed by Blake. Thank you so much, Ben. And yeah, that's worth noting that I guess we don't want any white there. So I will sign anyone's cards that they buy of mine for free. That would be in unnumbered and black ink. All you got to do is just cover the shipping to and from to get it to and from me. And if you do that, I'll sign it for free. But that's separate from the artist autograph cards that I'm selling independently on my website, which is proathleteportraits.com. And those ones do cost money, but they're also signed in a different color ink, and they're all numbered anywhere from 1 of 1 up to 1 of 99. So that is just in case anyone looking for that magic. So I think we had so many people on the stream last night, and I don't know what it was from. I don't know if it might have been because I had put Ken Griffey Jr. in the title of the video too, like that some people were searching for that or something. But it was crazy, and so naturally the art card form for these for free, which you can have, link below, that blew up last night. I had 100 submissions last night for the free cards, which is awesome. But it also means that I'm going to go through the Heritage box super fast, and so I need to figure out what box of Topps cards I'm going to buy next to break online. And I'll do one night where I actually just break the box and open cards, and then I'm going to do another night where I paint on them again. And I'm probably going to have to do, if things keep going like this, I'm going to have to do at least a box a week, maybe more. And I hope that happens. That'd be super sick. But anyways, the point of that is comment down below and tell me what box I should buy next. And keep in mind that I'm going to paint on them. So as much as I would love to have, and I do actually want to get the Bowman first editions, I want some packs of those. I don't know if that's the best thing to paint on, but open to your guys' ideas. So please send those along. So while we're waiting here for me to cut, I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Eric, which is those back pages in the comments. He's awesome. I met him through Blowout forums. He's been incredibly supportive for me and really encouraging and inspiring, which is tight. And he has his own YouTube channel, which is called Those Back Pages. I'm sure you could just click on him in the comments and it will show you. But he has a video where he's talking about his favorite card in his collection. And his collection is sick, by the way. He has a huge collection. He's been doing it for a long, long time. And he talks about getting to meet Gooden and getting him to sign a card. And it's just such a fun story. So if you guys are, especially if you're Gooden fans, check that out. If you're baseball card fans, he's a good dude to know. And what I like most about his videos is Eric has the coolest voice ever, and I keep telling him that he should narrate audiobooks. As you know, I'm an audiobook nerd, and I would say that I'm a narrator snob, where there could be a great book, great story by a great author, but if the narrator is not good, I can't put myself through it. I can't do it. But on the flip side, if there's like a mediocre story and the narrator kicks ass, I will be so engaged and I'll just love it. And so I'm trying to encourage Eric to do audiobook narration. And yeah, anyways, those back pages you should check out. He's got a cool Gooden video among other videos too. And it was super nice. He had a video that I don't know if it was last night or I watched it today. I don't know when it went live. But he was talking about prospecting different players and picking which cards to buy of them. And he mentioned prospecting artists and mentioned me and what I'm doing, which is so cool. And it was really super nice and appreciated. So I got to give him a shout out for that too. So usually like when I cut a stencil, I'll like start on one side and I'll just go all the way down. This one I'm doing a little different. I don't know why. I'm just kind of like, I see something and I cut it out. I'm just kind of jumping around. And so like I'm looking at this picture and I'm deciding whatever the lightest parts are. I want to highlight the highlights. So I've gone through and I did all like what's like really like the white of the actual white. And now I'm going to go in and do a little bit smaller little triangles and chunks in the parts that are like a lighter gray. And what that'll end up having is like, then we'll have almost like a gradient in the final piece, which is kind of one of my signature things, if it makes any sense. Okay, I'm liking this so far. We're actually getting pretty close to finishing this white layer. Checking on the comments. Eric is the man. That is absolutely right. Eric, you're very welcome. You've been amazing throughout this. I consider, from this project, like one of my best friends and connections that I made. So that means a lot, and I won't forget it. 2020 Series 1, since they're currently easier to get and cheaper. Okay, I'll check that out, Eugene. I appreciate that. Hashtag like squad. Yeah, you guys like the video down below would be helpful, I think. I don't know, I'm pretty new to YouTube, so I don't actually know if that matters for live videos or not, but it seems like it can't hurt. Of course, Boomer, you guys are welcome anytime. Also, some of my better friends that I've met in this project. Boomer and Noah. Reese ND Card Ranger. Agreed, Eric's cool. Yep, Eric is awesome. Thank you. Daniel, who's next after Gooden? I don't know. I've got, so my next releases are actually Ricky Henderson is my next one. And then after that will be Mike Trout, which is very, very exciting for me because of the print runs and the hype. I think I'm really lucky to get like a pretty early Trout in the series. And then let's see, after that is Mariano Rivera. And then after that is Mark McGuire. But all those stencils are already cut. And so now I'm just picking from the other 15 or so that are left and decided to do the Gooden tonight because Eric has been awesome and I wanted to do it because I know it's his favorite player. So I don't know who I'll cut next, but I'm open to ideas. If you guys, Jeter would also be fun, is going to be a fun one. So I'm open to whatever you guys think and we'll make it happen. Yes, we're good there. So I think we're pretty good on this. Just kind of checking and making sure that I don't, again, I just want to go like, swipe in. So I think there's a little bit of a highlight on the outside of this ear. I want to make sure to catch. Let's see here. So I think we're good. Pretty good on the lips. We could actually have a little bit of a lip highlight here. Got that. Got this middle thing. I think maybe a little bit more up here. Got that one. We got there, we could do a couple more here. That. Forget about those. I think that's pretty good. I like it. So here's the plan. I'm gonna run to the restroom. I gotta pee real bad. Drinking all this coffee, I guess. So next we're gonna peel this up, and I'm gonna be using this. This is like another secret sauce thing of mine that I like. So this is called fiber tape. And it's this mesh. It's sticky on one side. On this side is a little sticky, and then and it's like made of fiberglass, kind of, called fiber tape. It's made for like if you pull an Incredible Hulk or the Kool-Aid guy, and you bust through a wall and you have to patch a giant section of drywall. This is what that's for. I use it on my art because it gives it a little bit of rigidity, and it holds everything together. So my stencils are more like long-lasting. So we're gonna when I come back from peeing in just a minute, I'm gonna put this down here, and then we're gonna peel everything up, and then we're gonna start again, and we're gonna do the black. And the black one will take a little longer, but it also is gonna really bring a lot of the personality to the stencil itself. If you guys think of any questions, put them in the comments below. When I come back, I will be answering a bunch of those. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I feel a lot better now. If I keep chugging coffee, I'm going to have to pee again soon. All right. So, yeah, Ricky over Trout. Nice. I like, I grew up an A's fan, and so I'm a huge Ricky Henderson fan. I'm very excited about that card. But there's something special about, Trout is a generational talent, and he's also a current talent. And so I think that obviously, if you look at the print runs, there's a bunch of Mike Trout fans out there that maybe are too young to even appreciate Ricky and some of the other players in the set. So, I'm very excited about both of those. Do you ever just get halfway through the stencil and think it would be easier to start over after a mistake or viewing something differently? Not anymore. I did it, I've been cutting stencils for 5 years, and of all my hours spent in art, at least half of that over 5 years, half of the time that I've spent making art has been cutting stencils. So I'm at a point now in my career where I don't want to say I don't make mistakes, but I know what I'm doing enough to make it look cool. And if I do make a little mistake, like let's just say if I cut this T out from Mets, and then sometimes I'll just forget which stencil I'm cutting. If I'm cutting the white layer, but then all of a sudden I start cutting black down here, that's a mistake. But what I can do is I'll just take tape and I would put tape over this so that then it just would be blocked off and it wouldn't matter. So there's a lot of I don't really start over. I will do minor repairs like that. If you saw on the Ken Griffey stencil that I painted last night, there was a piece of the stencil on one of his fingers that somehow in the process between when I cut it and last night when I painted it fell off. So even though this is sticky on the back, it just, I don't know, I lost it. And so there was a part of the stencil that I didn't like. And so if you saw I did two different Griffies, in between the two Griffies, I put a tiny piece of tape over where I lost that piece of paper. And then on the second one, I was totally happy with it. It was fine. So that's, hopefully that answers the question. Okay, so we're going to unroll some of this right here. Make sure we get it long enough. Move some of this stuff out of the way. So I'm just trimming the fiber tape down to size, and then I'll take this off. And then this is nice because this is a small little sticky on one side piece of mesh. So what I'll do with that is I'll stick it here, and I'll use it to kind of clean up my scraps, because despite how messy my studio has been for the last week that you guys have been with me, I'm actually I'm usually kind of a clean freak. So every step of the way I like to clean my studio or clean the area that I'm working on. So this is kind of how I will clean up those scraps, throw those away. All right. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now we're gonna peel everything up together. Usually the white layer is not too sassy. The black layer could be more challenging because I'm gonna have more parts cut out that some of it might stick down, but this is coming up real nice, which is great. That's good. So you guys can see now kind of what that white layer looks like. Now, like I said, it doesn't look like a lot yet because these are just the highlights, but when you add the highlights and the lowlights, the blacks together, and then I have like the midtones in the middle, it really makes it pop. And there are some times when I'll just do a black layer stencil and just have that, but I think doing the highlights it's one of my signature things that I like to do. I think that it really it adds this extra dimension that's hard to explain or hard to understand just looking at this, but that's what the white layer is going to look like. So now we're just basically going to repeat that process with another one of these. Get some spray glue on there. That fits pretty good. Spot on my computer screen. Let's see. Haven't tuned every night, but did you cover Curry in your previous sessions, or are you still going to show your work at some point? So that's a great question. I have not done the Curry yet, and for those of you that don't know, I'm working with Steph Curry. We're going to do a piece of, obviously, of him, and then he's going to sign it, and we're going to auction that off for charity to raise money for COVID relief, probably in the Bay Area. Which is also where I'm from. I'm a Warriors fan. So that's really cool. He'll definitely be like one of the top stars that I've ever worked with. I've been really fortunate to work with some awesome people. Did a charity piece with Drew Brees. Painted for Joe Montana, which is like, me growing up in the Bay. That was like a really big deal. But the Steph Curry, again, like coming back to like the current players, right? He's a beast. And that's going to be really exciting. So I haven't started that yet. I am going to start that. I might actually be cutting that stencil tomorrow. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to cut the stencil live. I want to keep these kind of things. Like, I would like to mix it up so that, well, first of all, like, I want people to come back every night because they don't know what's going to happen. So, like, I want you to come back so that you're like, oh, let's see what he's doing. But anyways, Curry will happen in the next, I'd say in the next 7 days. Whether I'm cutting it live or I'll just cut it, by myself during the day, and then I'll paint it live. That'll 100% happen pretty soon. Okay. Do you normally work with music on? Normally, I actually work with an audiobook on. So I listen to Audible and just get lost in a book while I'm painting. Sometimes I'll put music on. I haven't put a book on during this live stream because I'm in the middle of a book and you guys wouldn't know what's going on. And I don't know. Maybe I will during this layer. Maybe I won't. I haven't yet decided. So what I'm seeing on the cutting is that it's pulling the paper a little bit, and normally there's a couple things that could make that happen. Number one, if I didn't put enough glue. I think I put enough glue, so I don't think that's it. The other option is if this blade is getting too dull. So I'm going to do a blade, I'm going to swap and put in a new fresh blade, and usually when I'm cutting a bunch, you don't notice it because it happens so slowly, but then I'll put in a new blade and it's just going to like usually cut like butter, which is cool. So we're going to do that. And 1 second. So with the old blades, safety first, so I'll put tape on that and tape around it, and then I'll throw that in the trash so that I don't end up like carrying my trash out and having little razor blades sticking out of my plastic trash bag. Safety first. Okay, let's see. Let's see here, what we got. Be careful with music for copyright purpose. Go with audiobooks. Yeah. Well, audiobooks are also copyrighted, copywritten. Although I don't think that like YouTube makes like copyright claims on that content as much, but they could. So like the publishing company who made the book could do the same thing as the music label that releases the song. Montana's the GOAT. Yes, he is. Let's see here. Just joined. Looks amazing. Jeremy, thank you so much. Welcome. We're working away. We cut the white layer so far, and now we're working on the black layer for this Doc Gooden that I'm painting for Topps Project 2020. If you are new here and you haven't been on any previous streams, anybody that joins my stream can have a free one of these. It's a hand-embellished card that I made the other night on a live stream. There's a link down below this video if you want to claim your free card. All you got to do is just put in the address where you want me to ship it and your YouTube username, and I'll ship you one. And then also there is my website, proathleteportraits.com, where I sell my original artwork and also limited edition autographed cards. Right now the one that's on pre-sale is Jackie Robinson that I just did for Topps. That one is password protected, but the password is also down below in the video comment, or not comments, video description. That's what I was looking for. gonna be cool. Let's see. Do we enter every day or just once for the free card? You can enter every day. Any day you come on, I don't care. That's fine. Maybe if you enter twice, in where it says like which video did you watch, just put something like this is my second card or this is my third card or whatever, because then I will put, because I'd rather just put 2 in one envelope and mail you 2 or 3 or however many, rather than doing like individual envelopes every single time. So I'll probably like start shipping those cards out early next week, like, I don't know, maybe like early or mid next week. Those are going to start going out. I have to order a bunch of envelopes and go buy stamps and stuff. So if I could like, maybe I'll like try and get in the habit of mailing cards out once a week to everyone and just get completely caught up. And so then like once a week, if you watch 3 streams that week and you want 3 cards, then you can put that in there and then I'll send you 3 cards. Does that sound fair? Yeah, save the stamps, exactly. Oh, just wondering if it's for watching consecutive streams. No, just one stream's fine. Any stream gets you a card, and I'm happy to send multiple. Let's see what else we got. Okay, Abraham, I'll do that. I'll probably just, when I'm processing them, you'll probably end up getting 2, which is fine with me too. I don't care. It'd be funny if I would actually love if the free art cards started to become a thing where people were like flipping them on eBay, and that would be like our little secret. I would be all for that. Like if you guys can make some money flipping those and there's a market for them, that's sick. I thought about selling them, but I think that it's going to be a cool thing where like the only way you can get it is if I give it to you for free, and that's just because you were here with me, you know, on one of these live streams. So I think that's how I'm going to stick with it, at least for the time being. And so if anybody wants to be the first to throw it up on eBay when you get it, you don't have to tell them it was free. And if you can flip it and make some money, then that's cool. So is on here is getting some kind of custom display case. Great question. I would love to see what you guys all think about that. Let's see. I'll be happy to test out the case. Awesome, Cardi C. Do it. See what you can get, man. Start it wherever you want. I mean, if you just search Blake Jamieson on eBay right now, the cheapest thing is like I don't know, my Mattingly card's like $35. So if you put on like a custom art card, 1 of 1, Blake Jamieson, hashtag hot plate or whatever, probably get $20 for it. I don't know. I'm all for that though. I think that would be really cool. Have I ever majorly screwed up a stencil and had to restart it? Not really. Not anymore. I used to a lot when I was newer at it, but I've been doing it long enough that I kind of have it down. And I can also, like, if I mess something up badly, I can usually just kind of patch it with tape. Like if I messed up like this nose right now, I wouldn't start over. I'm not going to mess up the nose, but if I did, I could fix it with tape without having to start over. Yeah. Nice. Hall of Fame pullers. Ordered 2 display cases, 35 graded cards each. Going to do a Nolan set and a Blake set. We'll probably add some of the original cards to fill it out. I love that idea. I would love to see a photo of it too when you get it. I'm trying to figure out fun ways to display my 20 set. I think I might get a display case, probably that holds 40 cards. So I'm going to have like mine and the original, And then I think I actually might do like some splatter paint on the case itself. And if it looks really cool, I mean, obviously I will put pictures of it online. Maybe I'll even paint it live on YouTube. But if it looks cool, then I would be down to offer either like display case customization to people, or make them myself and then just sell the ones that are complete and ready to go, which would be fun. And then I could also do like splatter paint in like your favorite team's colors, whatever. It could be something custom, which I think would be a really fun thing. Okay, moving that out of the way. Let's see. Add some cool LED lights. Yep, that would be tight. Send in the form for the cards. Sweet. Send a little message. Thank you guys. Me and Noah are making easels out of popsicle sticks to hold the cards. That's awesome. And the project will be artist-specific sets. All cards you did of each player. Yes, so I'm doing all 20 players, and I'm collecting my own set. Some people are collecting my set, which is amazing. And I've thought about, like, if I can buy, I'd have to buy some extra cards now probably because they're going to get expensive. But if it'd be sweet at the end of it to have some full sets of mine that I can autograph and sell, like a full autographed 20 card set. But like I said, I haven't bought enough cards to do that yet, so I guess if I'm gonna do it, I gotta get on it soon. Guess I'll use this time real quick and say, if we haven't connected on Instagram yet, that's another platform where I'm sharing a lot of my process stuff. I'm doing process videos of all the paintings I do. And I also am on a somewhat new Instagram account. It's just at athlete.portraits. It's my username, athleteportraits. I used to have a very big verified Instagram account, and then I got an Instagram jail. I'll tell you guys that story someday, but I had to completely start over, which is it's sad when I had like 100,000 fans and all my DMs were all with professional athletes that I'd worked with, and I lost everything. So I definitely want to grow my Instagram back. I had to start over with a brand new username and everything. So athlete.portraits. I follow everyone back. So if you guys connect there, that would be awesome. If you guys are looking for something to do. I think I'm going to change this blade again. I feel it getting dull. I go through these blades like crazy, especially on these black layers where it's like so many cuts. It's an expensive hobby to be an artist for sure. Blades are not cheap. Nothing is cheap, but it's definitely worth it. Topps doesn't give you 20 to 30 cards of everyone you create. No, Topps gives me no cards that I create. I have to buy them like everyone else. I do get a discount, which is great. I could buy, but only on my own cards. I don't get a discount on anyone else's. So I could buy my own cards at a discount, but I still have to do it just during that 48-hour window while they're live, and battle the bots to get APs or cart issues if the Bowman releases. Like, I'm doing that just like everyone else. So that answers your question. How have I been enjoying the live stream life? I love it. Last night was like insane. We had so many people join. It was crazy, and I don't even know why, because I haven't marketed it very much or very well yet. I think it's because you guys are telling your friends, which is rad. I got a bunch more subscribers, which, by the way, if you're not, subscribe down below. Makes a huge difference to me as an artist. Let's see. Do you get $2 paid back for every card you buy at a discount? No, I do not get, I don't get my royalties on cards that I buy myself because I'm getting them at a discount. So it's still worth it though, especially if you look at I turn around and sign my cards and number them. Link down below, by the way, for the Jackie Robinson pre-sale, password protected, get the password. I'm reselling those cards for more than I bought them for by a decent margin. So it all works out. But no, I do wish that I got either, I wish I got cards for free, basically. sometimes I gotta get different angles so I can see. I also, so I have these like, behind here, I have two like really bright LED lights that usually I'll have to cut, and it's like, looks like like an operating room. But I don't know, there's something weird about them, like the frequency or how I don't know. If I try and take video while I have those lights on, it creates this like flicker looking on the video. It doesn't look like that in real life, but I don't want to like live stream and make everyone have a seizure. So it's a little bit harder than usual to like see exactly like what I'm working on. But it's fine, I'm used to it. Because every time I film videos and I'm cutting, I am doing it this way, and it's not a big deal. So, remember you guys asked if I make a little mistake. There's a tiny bit here. It's really hard to see for you guys, but there was a little piece that was next to his neck. It was actually a tree that's in the background on the card, and I cut into the tree just a little bit, and so I'm just going to put like a tiny piece of tape over that, just so I have like a clean neckline for him. Very, very small piece of tape. Okay. And that'll fix the mistake or whatever. This has been an amazing encounter to get to watch your work from the beginning to end. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Aaron Sports Cards. It has been an amazing encounter for me to be able to let people see the whole process. So, and it'll be fun too because, you know, I'm live streaming every night, 10:23 p.m. here on YouTube. Tonight I'm cutting this dock stencil. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or it's going to be another day, but I'm going to literally do every step of it live on YouTube. Probably broken down into 2 or 3 different streams. Next one being the background, abstract background, and then the following one probably being the actually spray painting and using the stencil and seeing that all come together. So thank you for being here. And don't forget to claim your free card. Link down below the video. Why is 23 my number? Well, I grew up loving Michael Jordan, so I think that's when it started. And then I played lacrosse in college, and I was number 23 in that. And it's always been my lucky number. So I think the origin is Jordan, but I don't know. Just a cool ass number. I also think that doing the live streams at like a very specific time helps people remember. If it was like 10 p.m., you could be like, wait, was it 10 p.m.? Was it 9 p.m.? Was it 11? Is it Eastern? Whatever. Having a very specific time just like is a fun thing to stick in your head. And also, so before I was a full-time artist, I worked in marketing, digital marketing, and I would set meetings with people, and I'd always do it at 23 after the hour because people aren't late to meetings. This is when I lived in LA, and in LA, people are late to meetings a lot. But if I said, hey, let's have a 10:30 meeting, people are going to show up at 10:45. I would specifically set meetings at 10:23 or whatever, 2:23 in the afternoon, and people would think it's so weird, but then like everyone showed up on time. So that's kind of the idea behind this. It's also fun on these. Oh shit. It's fun on these. Let me make sure to get this placed back where it goes. There we go. That the streams go on for long enough that like even though people know okay it starts at 10:23 and hopefully I know a lot of you guys come right at the beginning and dropping comments before I'm even streaming, which is sick, but I'm streaming for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, so like I like that people just know okay it's nighttime, we can just go check in on Blake and see what he's doing in the studio. I think that's like a fun thing. It's gonna look really cool. I'm happy with it, and we're getting pretty close. I don't know if you guys remember, but on the white one I did the full pass, just the lightest whites, and then I came back and did some smaller cuts, almost to like give it like a gradient. We're getting really close to that for the black layer, which is cool. Doc looks so serious. I know he does look serious. It would be funny to put a smile on him. I'm trying to stay true to the original card, but I do like that idea a lot. Nice, Boomer. You guys play some lacrosse. That's awesome. I like lacrosse a lot. I played in college. I played in high school first and then college, and I did a little bit of club lacrosse after college, and then I also coached some youth lacrosse, which was super fun. Coached a U14 boys team in Granite Bay, California, in NorCal. And those kids were awesome. And then I coached a high school varsity team, Wood Creek High School, also in like Sacramento kind of area. And I like that a lot. I do miss coaching lacrosse. It was super fun. But for the lacrosse stuff, I am working with the PLL, Premier Lacrosse League, and we have, as long as the season happens and this COVID stuff doesn't last forever, there's very exciting news. I'm basically going to be the official artist of the PLL for the entire, for the season, which is amazing. So I'm super close with Paul Rabel and Michael Rabel, who started the league. They're friends of mine, and they like my art, and they have a bunch of my art, and so like we've got some insanely cool plans where like for every single game of the season, I'm going to be producing a piece of art, and then that's going to be like when you go to a game, you know, you'll have like the first 200 people get a free poster, and that poster is going to be my art for the entire season, which is bananas. So hopefully everything goes back to normal and lacrosse season can happen. Okay, we're getting close. We're gonna do that last pass. I think this is gonna look really cool. Sometimes tiny little pieces sticks to my hand, and that would be a problem if I didn't catch it in time. But that's an important piece, because that is the little white glint in the eye. And like I said with portraits, eyes are the most important to crush. Crush the eyes, people will like your portrait. Oh, almost blew that away again. Oops. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Now this is the fun part. We put the mesh back on, and then we have the reveal, where we get to flip it over and see kind of more what it's going to look like. It's easier to see, so give it one last look, but I think we're pretty good. I've got compared to the card, so I've got the hairline, I've got the furrowed brow, a little more furrow in there. We could do a little bit more here. And how are we looking on the chin shadows? I think those look pretty good. More definition at the bottom of his lip. We've got that some chin action. I think we're looking good. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. Saw the Rabel piece. Thank you. Okay, let's get this here. Clean up all these little scraps. Bam. So now we want to, I'm gonna pick all this up together. So far, so good. No ripping. This is great. We used the perfect amount of glue, it looks like. It's coming up pretty easily. It stayed put while I was cutting it for the most part. Okay. So, let's see. Let me grab like a black, something black on it to put underneath this. I'll give you a better idea. So, we have that. I think it's pretty cool. I'm real happy with it. It's very much my style. And so when we're pairing this with this white layer, I know it's hard to visualize maybe seeing them side by side, but I think it's actually going to be really cool. Let's see here. And then obviously I'll be hand painting in all the midtones. So that is, that's the business. One more down, 14 to go, something like that. So, yeah. Sweet. And we did it pretty fast, actually. Less than 2 hours. I would have guessed it would be more than 2 hours, for sure. So if we go like this, we're going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to do some closing arguments. Sweet. All right. Thanks, guys. I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad you guys got to see a little bit about what the cutting process looks like. That's a lot of my life, is sitting there with that X-Acto knife and just doing it over and over and over again. X-Duckzilla, that's okay. You can always go back. After this live stream ends, I will be publishing it just as like a regular video on my YouTube. So if you're curious to see the beginning, you will be able to do that. Because it's a pretty long stream, it's an hour and a half, that takes some time for YouTube to process before it becomes published. But if you come back later tonight or come back tomorrow, then you can see the beginning of that. And if you're just joining us, I'm just going to do a little bit of house cleaning at the end. But I have these hand-embellished Topps Heritage 2020 cards that I painted the other night on live stream, and I'm giving them to everyone that joins in on my streams. So if you want one, there's a link down below in my YouTube video description. That is the art card claim form. And you just fill out your address and I'll mail you one of these for free. Also down there is a link to my website, proathleteportraits.com/Jackie Robinson. That's where you can get my most recent Topps release, artist autograph series, limited, signed and numbered. And that's a pre-sale, so the page itself is password protected, but the password is also down there in the YouTube video description. So you can see the link down there, you can see the password, and that sale is going to go live to the public on Monday, and hopefully we'll get a, I don't know, you could get a pretty low number now, I guess, is the point. And it also like helps support me a lot, and it really means a lot, so you can get a cool card there. Thank you guys so much for joining. And then the last thing, like I mentioned before, is on Instagram, instagram.com/athlete.portraits. That's me on Instagram. It's a relatively new account. I'm trying to grow and build my business. So I'd really appreciate if you connect with me there. I follow every single person back. So that would be another cool place to connect. And I would say Instagram and here on YouTube every single night at 10:23 p.m. Eastern is when I'm doing the live streams. That's like where I put most of my content. It's either pictures and videos on Instagram or it's these live videos here on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. Really, really appreciate all of you. It means so much to me that I have this this fun platform to share my art with you guys, and usually it's pretty well received, which is awesome. And sometimes I get good ideas from you guys for colors or subjects, and it's really cool. I feel very, very lucky. So thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow at the same time, 10:23 p.m. Eastern, and holler anytime if I can help you. I'm always happy to do it. I hope you guys have a great night and you stay safe. Okay, bye.